I don't really know how many of you know this, but sniping is pretty hard. You son of a bitch! And to help you to play with the sniper, I have compiled all of my knowledge of thousands of hours of playing Call of Duty. In this video, I'll be starting out with more of an entry-level tips and then go deeper into the more advanced techniques. Even if you feel like you already know the basic information, I would still recommend you to watch the entirety of the video, since these tips will help you to become an even better sniper no matter what your skill level currently is. The kind of controller you are using is very important. Make sure you get one that feels comfortable in your hands, whether it's an Xbox or PS5 controller. The controller that I'm personally using is the regular PS5 controller. It's the basic cost-effective option which I have never had any trouble with. I would also recommend you get the control freak on your right thumbstick, since at least for me it really helps me to make those little precise adjustments that you need to do while sniping. Something even more important than the size and type of your controller are the things that you are capable of doing with it. I highly recommend you to get yourself a custom controller with back pedals if you can afford one, since it will really help you to use different advanced movement techniques while shooting. However, if you are for example a port student just like me, you can also learn to play claw. That means that you aim and shoot with your middle fingers and use your index fingers to jump, slide and reload. I used to hold the controller normally before, but when I started to play claw a few years ago, I learned to move the way I earlier could only dream of. My aim used to always become so bad whenever I needed to jump or strafe during an intense gunfight, and it really caused me to lose so many 1v1s. So if you haven't already, I would go ahead and purchase a custom controller or practice playing claw. Okay, now when we are done talking about what you can do in real life, let's make your settings as perfect as they can be for you. First, go to the in-game settings and there do your controller settings. Starting off with your sensitivity shouldn't be too high, so that your centering won't be on point, nor shouldn't be too low, so that you won't be able to react with a quick track scope if needed. To find a perfect sensitivity for you, you need to load to a private match or even to plunder and try center your crosshair to different places where enemy would be peeking in a real match. First, put your sensitivity around 3 or 4 and then raise it higher and higher until you can't keep your aim fully centered to the window or head glitch or whatever you are aiming at. Then you know that you shouldn't be using that sensitivity and you need to lower it to the last one that you were able to control. On top of that, you should go to the advanced controller settings and to the custom sensitivity per zoom and lower your ADS sensitivity to 0.85 for all the scopes below 4, but keep all the sniper scopes at 1.0 so that you can still do flick shots easier with your sniper. You can also choose the best button layout for you or even make your own custom one. Something that I have done is flipping my L1 and L2 and R1 and R2 so that I can shoot semi-auto weapons such as battle rifles easier with L1 and R1. First off is movement. Movement is arguably more important than aim. And if you were to ask me, I would say it 100% is. Even though sliding, bunny hopping and sprint to fire times got a pretty hard nerf from previous Call of Duties. If you are harder to hit, you live for longer and you can therefore shoot more shots at your target. Look at this sniper for example. This is the basic ill-experienced COD sniper that stands completely still while hard-scoping, making him the biggest sitting duck in the game. Don't be this guy, do the exact opposite of what this guy is doing. Always be moving and always be aware of your surroundings. When you scope in with the sniper, you are able to deal massive damage with the headshot, but in exchange of this huge power that sniper gives you, you give up two of the most important things in any FPS game: movement and vision. I don't know if you have noticed, but when you scope in, you give up a lot of your vision, allowing anyone to just walk up right next to you without you even knowing that they are there. Just as important as vision, you have movement speed. When a sniper is scoped in, his movement speed is reduced by a massive amount. Because of this crucial fact, it's incredibly important that you never stay scoped in for long periods of time. And not even long period of time, don't ever scope in if you don't see anyone or know where they are. Holding angles is important, but when you are playing a game where someone might push you with the dead silence, hard scoping tends to end up with you dying and the enemy living. Movement is extremely important in staying alive. Scoping in and giving up almost all of your movement speed makes you an easy target, especially for other snipers. Basically never hard scope, never stay still and always be aware of your surroundings. A little bonus tip here: if you really want to improve your movement, I would recommend you to practice little movement drills in a custom game, so that in a gunfight you can use different advanced techniques smoothly with the help of your muscle memory. I'll post some of my movement drills in the upcoming weeks, so make sure you are subscribed to the channel. It's always better to have your position parallel with your enemies. Being below or sometimes even above your target adds extra variables that can easily complicate predicting where your enemy's head is. When you are above your enemies, their character's head has 4 different directions where to move. They can move to left, right, up or down. However, when you are at the same level of your target, they are mostly limited to 2. Take this place in this map for example. I could stay up here and snipe and it would be more safe. Or I can risk myself slightly more to be able to secure easier headshots. It really depends on the situation, but if you stay with your teammates, they can cover you from most close quarter gunfights. You should be able to fully take advantage of snipers' powers. As a sniper, fighting against another sniper happens a lot, and you need to be prepared for it. Get into a habit of looking common sniping positions and listen closely to hear the sound of people sniping. The first main advice I have for fighting against another sniper is to simply move like an absolute madman. Just do random movements, strafe left and right, crouch or even use the dolphin dive. It doesn't matter. Just make it as hard as possible for him to hit your head. I can't even begin to tell you how many objectively better snipers I have outplayed simply by moving like a maniac. The reason why this is so effective is because snipers tend to pick up on people's patterns of movement. As humans, we seek patterns naturally. However, if you don't have a pattern of movement, it makes each shot a guessing game. Sometimes during 1v1, I say you need to wait for them to miss their shot first and then hit back. And on the other hand, don't be afraid to reposition if you miss your shots. Take your time while fighting another sniper, get to cover and rotate to a different part of the map. It's best to try to take them out even before they knew you were there. The best way to constantly win sniper 1v1s is to keep them guessing where you are about to peek. Trying to hit your shot over and over again from the same spot will eventually get you killed. Another situation that you often face is fighting against rushers pushing towards you. In these situations you are often in a disadvantage and the sweaty enemy with an SMG most likely knows that. The first thing I often do in this situation is to try to maintain distance to them. Back out a little, center your crosshair well and try to catch them off guard to get an opening shot. Quickscoping is like any other skill, and you need to practice it for it to feel comfortable in a real situation. Hop on a private match and fight against recruit bots to get better at centering and playing with different snipers. Also in a match, always try to check your surroundings between shots and while reloading to have a better picture of where your next target could be or where some of the aggressive players might be pushing you to try to revenge your nasty quickscope. Last thing to do in a close quarter fight is to no-scope, but sometimes you have no other option. In that case, try to move as close to your enemy as you can and use your sniper as a hipfire shotgun. Your sniper loadout is also extremely important. The weapons you are using shine in different situations and different playstyles. You should feel comfortable with your loadout and change it depending on what is needed. For example, most of the marksman rifles like the SPR or the Lockwood Mk2 have a lot quicker ADS time than the sniper rifles, and they are more suitable for aggressive quickscoping. However, the sniper rifles like the Signal 50 or the LAB 330 have a longer range and they deal more damage. And finally, the most important advice I have in this video, which is to be patient. Just like learning anything in life, it always takes time and practice to truly get good at it. It doesn't matter what tips you get if you don't practice them. For example, these things that I have talked about in this video about movement and positioning. And just don't be too hard on yourself. If you don't hit any headshot all day, don't worry. You are learning at your own pace and trying to have fun. Not everyone is going to enjoy playing as a sniper. And if you notice that you are not having good time while sniping, try some other loadouts. MW2 and Warzone are video games, and you are supposed to be having fun. If you like this kind of videos where I help you to become a better Call of Duty player, remember to subscribe for more. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one. Peace.